Hey yo, what's poppin', fellas? It's your boy here, and we back. We got some more Fire Emblem Heroes content today. So what we're gonna do this time is take a look at the brand new Tempest Trial Claude that we got for Christmas here. So they love doing these armored three houses Christmas bow units. I don't know what the deal is with that. We've gotten one every year pretty much. So we had Winter Felix one time, we had Winter Ignatz one time, then we had Winter Annette, and now we have Winter Claude. So it seems like every year for Christmas we're just getting an armored bow three houses character. Sure. So Claude, one of everybody's favorite characters. He's the most chill of the three house leaders, so what's not to like? Now, Homeboy didn't come with a perf weapon, unfortunately. However, I think I'm going to excuse that in this particular case because his own inheritable bow is so freaking strong that it's like actually a godsend that we can give this out to other characters. So Golden Yule bow, what it does here is it's effective against flying, of course. And then at the start of combat, if his HP is over 25%, he's getting all stats up 4. Also, all stats up X, and also special cooldown count minus X to himself before the first attack during combat. And X is going to be the number of spaces from starting to ending position of whoever moved, depending on whoever initiates. So, like, if he initiates, he's got to move 3 spaces to get the max. Or if the enemy moved, they got to move 3 spaces to get the max. And you can just instantly get the maximum value, assuming the enemies have an active penalty on them, which is not that difficult to do. I mean, getting penalties, there's so many ways to do that now, and there's a lot of very OP skills like the dual ploy skills right now that are easy to activate and can pretty much party-wide debuff the enemies. So, very, very strong bow. You can instantly charge stuff like Deadeye with this, particularly if you're running a cavalry bow-type unit that can just move 3 spaces on their own. They're just going to walk right in, and they're going to come with their pre-charged Deadeye ready to go. So, this is a really strong bow, and it's pretty much on par with the... I would say it's on par with the arcane weapons. So, really, really powerful stuff here. Okay, now let's also take a look at his stat line here. So, he's got 41 HP, we got 43 attack, we got 46 speed, we got 32 defense, and then 34 res. And Homeboy has got the delicious double super boons on attack and speed. So that's definitely what we want. We're going to definitely want to go for plus speed with the trait fruits. And then if you've got the Ascended Floret to go for, then you want to take plus attack with that one. And if we go ahead and throw in his base kit here, so his passive skills, he comes with Soul as his special. He's got attack and speed form 3 and then chill attack and speed 2. It's kind of inexcusable at this point that we're just not getting better passive skills on the demo characters. We're 8 years into, well, almost 8 years into this game, and they can't give us something better. Like, chill attack has been the most given out skill, I want to say, on these Grand Hero battle units. We used to meme about, like, how often units would get chill attack. Now it's chill attack and speed too. The instance is like, oh, we've spiced it up a bit. Now you're chilling speed on top of attack. Nah, man, get the hell out of here with that. Just give him a better B skill. There's so many really good tier 4 skills right now that we need the level 3 variants of. We don't have a majority of the level 3 finishes. We don't have a majority of, like, the level... We don't have level 3 primes yet, and they just started giving us variants of prime now. We got attack and defense prime on the new Edelgard, so... I don't know. I'm done, like, making excuses for these booty-ass passives that they be giving out. But whatever. It's fine. It's fine. And as far as BST is concerned, Claude is able to score in the same bin as Vigard and also Murdoch. His BST gets to 200. He has a 196 overall and then 4 with a super boon. So, pretty good scoring. He's in the same boat as Cyril, Vigard, and Murdoch. 3 of our highest scoring free-to-play units. So, there we go with him. Now, I just want to do a quick stat comparison between Claude and his contemporaries. So, we've gone ahead and put on the maximum dragon flowers to make it fair, because these older units have lower BST, but they get more flowers. So, Claude actually wins out by a mile on attack and speed compared to both Felix and Ignatz. And unfortunately, neither of these two have a super boon on anything. So, Claude just gets 1 extra point on attack and speed, whereas these guys do not. And they don't have a super boon on anything else either. So, they lose to him on attack and speed. However, the best one in terms of defense is Felix. He's got just 3 more points of defense than the other two. And then Ignatz has the most res. So, maybe he makes the best use of stuff like Armored Flow. Maybe Felix makes the best use of stuff like Armored Blaze and also Armored Bacon. And then Claude makes the best use of attack and speed. He can player phase too if you've got like Guidance 4 support to allow him to move in. So let's go ahead and take a look at some builds now. Let's take a look at some builds for our Claude here. So we're going to start things off by actually running the golden Yule bow. I was thinking I was going to end up having like different bows on him because being an armor type unit, he can only move one space on his own. But if you're letting the enemies come to you, or if you just have penalties active on the enemies, then you can easily just activate the -3 cooldown to yourself before you attack. So he can effectively get Deadeye to work here. We don't need to run Special Fighter or Special Spiral 4 on this particular build. We can just go for Savvy Fighter 4 to get no follow-up. And the reason why Deadeye and Special Spiral 4 are going to be so prevalent on this guy's builds is because he needs to be able to pierce DR. Too many player phasers right now are just waltzing right in with like 80+ points of initiate DR. So if you're not able to pierce that and blow them up, then you're going to be in a massive amount of trouble. So the glass cannons that are coming in to attack you are not even glass cannons anymore. They're just getting like such a ridiculous amount of DR. So DR piercing on tanks, omni tanks, save units, like this is the new meta that we've entered. So Kestrel Stance gives us guard and attack and speed, and then of course attack and speed far save gives us more attack and speed, and then it also lets us far save. We got Fleeting Echo in case you want to player phase with him. Like if you've got Guidance 4 on the team and he can just jump in, he's going to get the -3 from jumping in 3 spaces, and then Fleeting Echo will give him some initiate DR, and he pierces DR. So this would be the speedy tank, like far save build. Then we've got a more like nuking potential build, also with far save. This time we go for Special Spiral 4 and Armored Flow to get pierceable DR for the enemies, and then non-pierceable DR for us. Arcane Nastron gives us -1 special triggers, so we can re-up Armored Flow every time with Special Spiral 4. This Squad A Seal is the one that gives us HP up 5 and attack and res up 3. So I decided to go for that one just to juice up his attack and res, let him hit harder and tank a little bit better. So we're focusing primarily on just raising attack and res with this build so we can make sure that our Armored Flow Special Spiral 4 one-shots. And then we're also protecting ourselves to the utmost by raising our res as much as we can. And then finally, we got a more like all-arounder type of build here. So attack and speed prime 4. I guess also attack and defense prime 4 if you want to go for that. But he does have a lot of speed, so it's nice to be able to juice that up. So we've got attack and speed prime 4 here to get close counter on him. I was going to give him Assault Troop on this build, but he can't get it. Unfortunately, Assault Troop is locked out of being given to non-melee armor types, so that does suck. But defense and res ploy 3, even though his res is only 39 and a couple of mages are going to have like 40+, he can still get this to activate because the res check on this skill is very lenient. It gives you +5 for yourself during the check. So even at 39 res, he should have no problems being able to affect most enemies with defense and res ploy, which is really nice. Special Fighter 4, the brand new Sacred Seal that we just got, works out pretty favorably here. So we can inflict guard on the enemies and then get special acceleration for ourselves. Combos really nicely with the Dark Bow giving -1, instant desperation, and then also the half and null follow-up portion. So we're able to hit the enemies twice in a row and then get them with Deadeye on the second hit if we are initiating combat. And on the enemy phase, if they're initiating on us, then they get 1 hit. We guard them with Special Fighter 4, and then our attack is going to be a Deadeye that blows them up. So it's a very well-rounded build, and then Weaving Fighter, of course, is giving us the Wary Fighter effect, which we nullify by having half and null follow-up on Dark Bow. So when we initiate, we're not affected by the Wary Fighter, but the enemies are, so they still can't do their follow-up. Then we get a like boatload of DR, 80% on the first hit if the enemies can't make a follow-up. If they can make a follow-up, then it's 40% Brave DR on their attacks. So ridiculous amount of protection with this skill. This is a really nice Armored Beast skill. Hopefully they start doing more of them because I'm very sick of Special Fighter 4 and Vengeful Fighter 4 being not the best when it comes to comboing with arcane weapons. They just have a lot of redundant effects. So Weaving Fighter was a nice step up for these armor types. And that's pretty much it for our builds on Claude. Now we can go ahead and also take a look over here and we can see some other skills to give him. White Wind Bow is pretty good. It gives him null follow-up and also What was the other effect of White Wind Bow? I can't remember. One of them is null follow-up, though, and the more bonuses you have active, the more stats you can get with this skill. Also, it calculates in for debuffs on the enemies. So on a build like this, you could also run White Wind Bow. It combos nicely with Weaving Fighter by giving you null follow-up, and then Defense and Res Ploy is doing a lot of debuffs. So you could get a lot of stats out of White Wind Bow on this build if you wanted to go for that. Kumo Yumi is also pretty good because it gives him auto-warping, or should I say auto-warping, or just like... It gives him the guidance effect to himself, so he can warp to allies that are within 2 spaces. Then it gives him the Brave attack, and then it also gives him all stats of 4. So a very nice weapon to run on him. And then also, if you're running a close counter build, Armored Blaze, Attack and Defense Prime 4, and Attack and Defense Near Save, all of these are potential options for him. I just didn't want to show off a Near Save build in particular, because his defense is okay. It's certainly workable, but it's not like the craziest. If you're going to specifically run a Near Saver, I think there are better options that you could go for. So that's going to wrap us up for this video, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed the coverage on the Winter Claude. Pretty awesome unit. Definitely a W for Winter. They always seem to give us a good Tempest Trial unit around the holidays. Also, New Year gets a good one, too. So, looking forward to that. This is your boy Tatro signing out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And I'll catch y'all again on the flip side.